Gerald Durrell. Etching. Who modelled that?
This ear here. The model, the ear, life size. Impersonation of Vincent van Gogh. Vincent? Right? What's this ear here? What's this ear?
Look, there's a rabbit. Fuck the rabbit, Dad. Come the rabbit. The queen on that.
Apparently, yeah.
Where's that ship firing a missile at it?
And blows it.
That rabbit last night.
Did you see the rabbit?
I did. Oh, I see, yeah.
Oh, you didn't believe? Look at all the duckies. The long-legged pigeons. Come on, let's film over and... Where's Timmy and David? Where's Timmy and Tom? Where's Timmy and...
time you get strange cases to handle. Well, we had a funny case last week. 2 Irish fellas. They kidnapped a millionaire's son and they sent him home with a ransom note. His mother was Irish. She sent him back with the money.
Oh, there we go. That is the one and only Silly Round. A little bit of So Macho. Dedicate that one to all the macho men out there. Stay with the dance all we're going to head back to 1978. And of course, it's Mr. Edwin Starr, a little bit of Contact. That is eye-to-eye contact. Let's see on the dance floor doing the business. Okay, here we go.
The Pearl. It is 11:30 on a Wednesday night.
Is that deep as Jean Nicolai down by the
Where's the very
waterfall?
shell of it? For me.
This is deep. Hello.
Hello.
The creepy crawly. Ah!
Dad.
What?
Look at it.
Okay.
Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you. Start the day with a bit of rock and roll, shall we? There we go. Puts you in good stead, doesn't it? You're on a trip with me now, which will take quite a number of passengers on today, more actually than one hovercraft load. So I will be advising you before you disembark from me the times of departure for Southsea. We don't land you there actually, we disembark you at Clarence Parade, a little bit closer to the dock. Built up on, as you can see, and now open to the public, and from the top there it provides a nice view out over the harbour entrance for all the incoming and outgoing traffic. Before, it's been down here now to Portsmouth about 5 years, and she was built originally by the Thames Ironworks and Shipbuilding Company at Blackwall in London, launched on the 29th of December in 1860 and completed the following year. She's a vessel of 9,210 tons, 500 feet long, masts of 180 feet high, and on the spars carry 48,000 square feet of sail. She was also power-driven by a steam trunk engine with 2 horizontal cylinders, which gave us and a crew of 50 officers and 600 ratings. The hull construction is made up of wrought iron, 4.5 inches thick on the outside, backed up on the inside by 18 inches of hardwood, known as teak. So there is the Warrior there to the right of you, on tender basalt, and used extensively during the Falklands War in order to run stores and supplies down to the Falkland Islands. She was bought by the Ministry of Defence at the end of the war, converted at the shipyard of Holland and Wolff in Belfast at the cost of £30 million in order to be turned into an aviation training vessel. She's a 28,000-ton ship with a speed of 19 knots. She's got a fairly large flight deck crew, will be trained on this ship annually, and she operates mainly in the English Channel and the Atlantic. The Victory, of course, is beyond the Argus, there to the right of you, and shortly you might be able to get a snapshot of her as we make our way up to the next group of ships. Possibly a little bit of a function going to take place on the Argus at the moment. You've got quite a lot of marquees there which have been erected on the flight deck there. And I did notice when we came in yesterday that there was a very old aircraft on the stern section. He still is there, actually, I believe. And I don't know what sort of function it is, but it probably will take place within the next day or so. You know, underneath of it. And there might be some anniversary coming up, which they're going to celebrate on board, possibly. So there it is on the right. Probably came from a museum, I expect. Lifted on board on night out by a crane. That didn't fly there. You've got the ship here on the right of you, Ariadne. The Ariadne is a Leander general purpose class frigate, about 15 of them in service today, displacing 2,860 tons, 341 feet long. Now these have a crew of 180 officers and men, and they have as armament, but this one's a bit ancient for armaments of course, a turret forward containing twin 4.5-inch guns, one Sea-Cat surface-to-air missile system and Mark 10 anti-submarine mortars. Most of them built for anti-submarine warfare, and on frigates and destroyers they do have a flight deck aft in order to embark a Westland Lynx helicopter carried by the ships, again for anti-submarine warfare. You've got a group of 3 here on the right of you, Manchester, Gloucester and Cardiff, I think it is up there on the right of you. Now that's the Newcastle there. We had the Cardiff in yesterday, but she's gone obviously. So you've got the Manchester, Gloucester and Newcastle. These are what they call Type 42 or Sheffield class destroyers. Now these displace 3,660 tons, larger than the frigates, and she is 406 feet long. They're all identical, driven by Rolls-Royce Olympus and Tyne gas turbine engines with a top speed of 30 knots plus. These have a larger crew of 250 officers and men at the present moment. The Ark Royal, we're making our way up to right at this very moment. The Clyde of Winchester, backing around the corner now to berth at the ferry port there up ahead of you. These come under the Royal Maritime Auxiliary Service. A lot of them are tugs and specialised built vessels in order to look after the requirements of the naval ships whilst they're here. The Charybdis has got a fuel lighter alongside her, also a tank cleaning lighter as you can see, and of which it's put on the ships to enable the Sea Harriers to take off with a far heavier payload. For their own armament they have one Sea Dart surface-to-air missile system, 2 Vulcan phalanx guns and an array of light anti-aircraft weapons, which incidentally is carried by all naval vessels. These are either 20, 30 or 40mm anti-aircraft guns. So Ark Royal here on the right of you, as I say, Invincible afloat in the dry dock immediately behind, and the Illustrious at this time is at the moment in the Inner Basin preparing for a refit. That has been delayed for quite a while now, and possibly may start very shortly. As we pass under the bow of the Ark Royal, we're moving into the innermost section of the dockyard, which is Fountain Lake, and it is in there also. Dockyard craft called the Magnet, the first ship. She really is a torpedo recovery vessel, that one. And at the moment, there's a little handy down there, going around. Of course, they're in the process of taking the ship side of the Ark Royal by the look of it. And the Invincible side arm, of course, coming into view at this time. The Magnet torpedo recovery vessel, the first ship in front of him is a grey vessel there, which is HMS Challenger. Now the Challenger is a one-off ship, of which she is a seabed operations vessel. It cost £150 million actually to build the Challenger. There is no armament on the Challenger whatsoever, and she's a ship which weighs 6,500 tons. She is powered actually by the Wight Schneider propeller system, and she has an onboard computer connected up to the propeller.